famous for being a writer. I was born in 1832. My parents were Abigail and Bronson. I had a big sister named Anna and two little sisters, Elizabeth and May. My father taught as a teacher in our humble town, Germantown, Pennsylvania, but not for long. We soon moved to Boston. Some of my earliest memories that happened around this time were mostly my adventures. As a child, I got in trouble for exploring, but I still did. Growing up, my parents were abolitionists, so my father invited a black girl to join the school in which he worked. Many disagreed, and unfortunately, the school closed. We then moved to Concord, Massachusetts. It was the year 1842 when my father was invited to England. When he returned from his trip, he told the rest of the family his idea. That was to move to England. We stayed for a very short time, then ultimately moved back to Concord. In my late teens, I started working various jobs. I then thought I would try my luck with something else, something I enjoyed doing when I was younger. That is writing. I am famous for my books. My first public story was in a small magazine. I kept writing. In 1854, I started to get noticed when publishing my collection of books entitled Flower Fables. A few years later, Elizabeth sadly passed away. In 1862, I started to train as a nurse in Washington. Even though being a nurse during wartime is tough, I still liked it, as I knew I made a difference. I was taken home by my family when I caught typhoid fever. I hated this experience. When I recovered, I started writing one of my less-known novels. It was called Hospital Sketches. In 1864, I was able to publish another book. This time, it was called Moods. Soon after, a publisher asked me if I could make a girls' book. I agreed, and the outcome of this was Little Woman. Little Woman is the book that I am famous for. I doubted it would be a success because I didn't expect people to want to read about a normal life. I used references from my family for the characters. Jo was modeled after me, Beth was Elizabeth, Amy was May, and Aunt March was modeled after my aunt, Hancock. I made so much money from this novel. I was able to travel to France and New York. I find it funny how I went from having financial problems to being rich. At age 55, I went to my father's. He had given me a medication that had mercury in it. Mercury is a poisonous metal. I died that night. To this day, people of old age and young age continue to read my books. Little Woman was made into a great movie, and the book still sells. My other novels are favored too.